The Nexus Military Academy was hosting its annual Physical Conditioning Challenge, a 3-day endurance event designed to test the limits of elite cadets from across the galaxy. The competition included activities from various homeworlds, zero-gravity sprints, methane atmosphere obstacle courses, and pressure-resistant deep-sea dives. Among the cadets was Krentox, a towering Valerian whose homeworld orbited 3 suns and experienced gravity only 1/10 that of Earth. His species was known for their exceptional agility and endurance. Beside him stood HFY, a delicate ethereal being whose people evolved in microgravity environments. They had been watching the human cadet, Sarah Chen, with barely concealed amusement. "Did you see the Earth representative struggling during the zero-gravity event?" Krentox laughed, his crystalline voice echoing through the academy halls. "She moved like she was weighed down by invisible chains. Their gravity must make them incredibly weak." HFY nodded, her translucent form shimmering. "I heard humans can barely jump their own height. On my world, infants achieve greater vertical clearance. How did such a species ever develop space travel?" Sarah, who had been standing nearby, overheard the conversation. She smiled quietly and approached the 2 aliens. "Hey, I heard what you said," Sarah said calmly. "Want to know the truth about Earth gravity?" Krentox regarded her with condescension. "What truth? That your weakness is remarkable?" "No," Sarah replied. "That what doesn't kill you makes you incredibly strong. But if you want to understand, you should come on a hike with me tomorrow morning. It's part of the challenge anyway." The next morning, Sarah led Krentox, HFY, and 3 other alien cadets, a hulking Gorillian, a swift Felinox, and a stocky Drakian, to the Academy's mountain terrain. The hike was labeled as optional recreational activity, but Sarah had designed it specifically for them. "We're just walking?" HFY asked, her delicate form hovering slightly above the ground. "This seems insufficient." "Just wait," Sarah said, adjusting her pack. The first hour was deceptive. The mountain path seemed gentle, almost leisurely. The aliens moved with ease, their enhanced physiology making the slope feel trivial. They mocked Sarah's pace, even offering to carry her gear out of pity. By hour 2, something changed. Sarah was barely breathing. Her heart rate steady. Her movements fluid and efficient. Meanwhile, Krentox was beginning to show signs of strain. The Gorillian was sweating profusely. Even HFY, accustomed to floating rather than walking, was struggling with the sustained exertion. "How is this affecting you?" Sarah asked, not even winded. "You all have better cardiovascular systems than me." Krentox gasped, "Your planet's gravity, it's compounding the fatigue." "Exactly," Sarah said. "On Earth, we don't just fight the environment. We fight gravity itself every single second of our lives. Every step weighs more. Every movement requires more energy. Every heartbeat has to pump blood against constant downward pressure." By hour 4, the aliens were genuinely struggling. The Felinox, known for speed and agility, could barely maintain pace. The Drakian warrior, bred for combat on his high-gravity homeworld, was breathing hard. But Sarah? She was beginning to accelerate. "You see," Sarah explained as they climbed higher, "humans evolved on a planet where survival meant endurance. We hunted prey across vast distances. We migrated across continents. We ran down animals until they collapsed from exhaustion. Our bodies learned to keep going when everything screams to stop." She led them up an increasingly steep slope, pushing the pace slightly faster. "Every one of you," Sarah continued, "evolved to be exceptional in your specific environment. Low gravity? You're fast and agile. Microgravity? You're perfectly adapted. But Earth gravity? It's like wearing a weighted vest 24/7. As they reached the summit, 5 of the 6 aliens were exhausted. Krentox collapsed against a boulder, his breathing heavy. Ziwexla was trembling with exertion. Only Sarah remained composed, looking out over the vista with steady breathing. The thing about humans, Sarah said, sitting down beside Krentox, is that we're not the strongest. We're not the fastest. We're not the most adapted to any single environment. But we're the most adaptable. We can survive anywhere because we're built to survive everywhere. She pulled out water and distributed it to the exhausted aliens. Your gravity weakness? It's actually your advantage in other environments. But our gravity pressure? It's why we don't break when we hit the ground hard. Why our muscles stay dense even without exercise. Why we can carry loads that would crush other species. Krentox took a long drink, understanding dawning in his eyes. You weren't weak during the zero-gravity event. Nope, Sarah smiled. I was acclimating to an absence. Just like I'm acclimating to everything now. Humans aren't exceptional at any one thing. We're exceptional at learning to handle anything. As the sun set over the mountains, the alien cadets sat in silence, finally understanding why a species from a world of crushing gravity had become one of the galaxy's most formidable forces. Sometimes weakness was just strength they hadn't discovered yet.